Hello, everyone. How's it going? Sorry, my lens might be a little... There we go. It's looking better now. The lighting's not perfect. I don't have my lights and set up and everything. Unfortunately, I was live streaming on my gaming channel with our friends, Lonely Symbiote and Sean, and we had Deadeye Shots and Jazz Carnage in there, and our friend Florent dropped by earlier, and I just... I was like, oh, crap. I got a live stream on my main channel. So here I am. So I just jumped from my chair to my couch, so I didn't have time to set up lights and everything. So hopefully it still looks okay, and hopefully you guys are doing well. Thanks for whoever pops in here. This is going to be a, let me get the Venom vlog sign in there. There we go. And all those cool Venom figures. This is just kind of an impromptu thing. Like, I was planning to do this on Thursday. I don't know why I wrote down that Tom's birthday, I put down it was on the 17th. So I planned to do this in a few days. And then I woke up today and found out it was Tom's birthday, Tom Hardy's birthday. So I was like, oh man, because I was going to wait till Thursday to cover some of the information that came out recently as far as news went. Because then I could be like, oh, it's a Tom Hardy birthday chat stream, kind of, where we can all wish Tom Hardy happy birthday. So happy birthday, Tom Hardy, if this ever finds you, from the Venom vlog and the Parasites. I take all the blame for him being late. No, you don't, Sean. It was my fault. I didn't know like it was that close to, because I saw the stream and it was like, you've been streaming for an hour and a half. And I'm like, okay, we started at 6, but I forgot we did that 10-12 minute stream first, and then we got cut off. So technically when it said you've been streaming for an hour and a half, that put us around 7:45. So I was like, oh man, hey, what's up? Deadeye Shots, long time no see. What's up? Padilla, how's it going? Hey, happy birthday, Tom Hardy, Ferris says. Yes, so feel free to drop happy birthdays to Tom Hardy in the chat. Yes, the best Venom. Thank you guys for that. Thank you, Padilla. So I figured, with the news we got from, I think it's Tony Vinciquerra, I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right, but I'm sure I'm way off on that one. He is a Sony chairman who spoke recently. I'll put the link to the article in the description box about his comments. So we'll talk about those in a minute, talk about the future of Morbius and Venom 2 and Spider-Man 3. So we'll get into that here in a second. And then also I want to talk a little bit about Maximum Venom and the 5th episode coming up, and the trailer they released for it, and kind of the information we learned from that, where we're actually getting at least a symbiote coming back in this 5th episode. So I hope that means it'll build up to an even bigger battle in the 6th episode with more symbiotes like Scream and all the ones that I thought were cast with voice actresses and stuff, but yet all we got was that little short animated film, which was cool, but it wasn't like a full episode of the cartoon. So and they didn't really talk in it, so it'd be weird to announce voice actors for a short and not the cartoon itself. So I'm sure the final episode, I have now rejuvenated hope. I have hope in me again that the last episode will be about symbiotes again. Hey, how's it going? What's up, X Master? How's it going? Yes, happy birthday, Tom Hardy. Siike, you said it wrong. It's Minimum Venom. Yes, I know. We talked about that in the video game live stream that we did on my gaming channel. We were just talking about that, how Jazz Carnage is not a fan of the name. Thank you guys for the 3 thumbs up. 8 people here. Hello. Last time I streamed at 8 p.m., I got flagged for reasons we still don't know. Although now I'm getting some more information of where that flag may have came from, and I'm a little bummed out by it, to be honest with you. So yeah, I guess I won't be talking about Morbius, or whatever. But we're gonna mention Morbius briefly here, but I'm not gonna show any artwork from any comics or anything like that. But we're going to talk about what Tony said, the chairman, one of the chairmen at Sony. We're going to talk about his comments here soon. But I did want to just wish Tom Hardy a happy birthday. And yeah, how is your nephew doing, if you don't mind me asking? He's good. He seems good. He's in school, and that seems to be going pretty well so far. They're practicing social distancing. I think he goes to school physically like twice a week, and then I think 2 other days it's like a Zoom call or something like that. So they're trying, they're trying to do, I don't know how it is for every person that's in school, but for my nephew, that's what he's going through right now. So he seems to be doing all right. So I appreciate you asking about him. He seems to be doing good. And Echo's good. I know someone was asking about him the other day, and he's doing good. He's still not feeling too well. Oh, it was Lonely earlier. She asked about him in the stream. Yeah, he's doing good. Obviously he's getting older, so we have a doctor appointment coming up on October 3rd for him to check him for stuff and just get his eyes double checked again. So he's going through some stuff. He's had some dry skin lately, but we got a new like a medicinal shampoo kind of thing, and it looks like it's working. So he's not like going through like his like back was like shedding really bad. I felt so bad for him. It looked really painful. But he looks like it's the new shampoo is helping him. So yes. Anyway, so yes, happy birthday, Tom. We love you. 560 episodes of Venom Vlog. We've done a few Parasite podcasts now, like 16 or 17 of them. There will be one going up late tonight, another Parasite podcast with Christian Cottle, who has been in our conversations before in our streams live and in the comment section on pre-recorded videos. So he was nice enough to take some time out last week. And then I think Bruce will be my next interview coming up. So he got Skype recently, and I reached out to him, and we're going to try to set something up. I don't know if I'll be able to this week now, but maybe we can if I'm able to, or maybe we'll do it next week. So you'll have more Parasite podcasts soon too. And then the Venom Vlog Lives. It's been nice doing these again as well. 5 thumbs up. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And also we're trying to get to 3K subscribers by the end of the year. So if you know someone who's a Venom fan who hasn't seen the show yet and you think they might dig it, send them a link to the channel and see if they like it. And if they like a couple videos, hopefully they sign up and become a Parasite with the rest of us. Eddie Brock is definitely my favorite Venom. Or you're talking about actors, because obviously that's Tom Hardy as well. All right, so birthday's out of the way. Let's talk about, and again, you can click the link if you want to check it out while I'm talking about it. It's in the description box from Deadline. This guy named Tony Vinciquerra. He is one of the chairmen at Sony, and there was like a conference recently that they did with all the chair people and top brass over at Sony and stuff in their different departments. And he was quoted by saying that, and I don't know if he's speaking for the company fully or if this is just like his thoughts and we're just getting his opinion on it. We don't really know, or if he's saying an actual like company guideline that they're going to stick with. But anyway, his comments were that he doesn't see any reason, I'm paraphrasing, I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but he's basically saying like he doesn't see any reason to release a $200 million movie during a pandemic. And obviously we've been seeing movies coming out lately like New Mutants. Everyone was so excited to see that, or at least if you believe online people, which I don't do anymore. I've now realized how small the people who speak online, how small that group is. I've seen it now. Like there's clear data with this pandemic of like hardcore fans and the real people in the real world. It's so clear to me now. So when people are like, oh, New Mutants, and then that makes like $8 million. Oh, Christopher Nolan, he's the best filmmaker ever. He's the best filmmaker ever. And that makes like $10 to $11 million its first weekend. Although Warner Brothers lied and said it made $20 million, but that's because they're counting its Canadian release. For some reason, they counted the Canada has never been divided from North America before as far as like profits go. They usually count that in with ours. But they separated Canada for some reason. So good on you, Canada. You're now your own movie division, I guess, of profits. And then they did some pre-shows of Tenet, like a week, so the weekend New Mutants came out, the following Monday, they started showing Tenet screenings. I know this because my friend went to one, my friend Nathan, and he asked me if I wanted to go with him. He had 3 tickets. And I was like, no. I actually had no interest to see Tenet, actually. I like Christopher Nolan. I love Memento. I love Following. I love, a lot of his movies, The Prestige and stuff. But and Batman, I like his Batman stuff. But I don't know. I saw the trailer and I'm like, I'll rent it. It just looked like a rental to me. Yeah, I could be missing out. I know everyone's like, no, you got to see it on the big screen. You got to do this, you got to do that. It's like, well, the movie experience is different for me. I hear out of 1 year, I don't do well in crowds. It's not a good experience for me to see a movie in the theater most of the time. So I'm okay with waiting to see it here. And I have a really big TV, and I think I'm going to get some speakers. If we get this second stimulus check, I might spend like $150 and just get 4 small speakers and do like a surround sound. I would only do surround sound in case I have guests over. I really don't need surround sound, but I just feel like, if I have guests come over, because I think I might try to do more social stuff once the pandemic clears and have like movie nights over here and stuff. That's at least my hope anyway. But for now, maybe I'll just do 2 speakers and just put them on this side. But yeah, so there's a hesitation with releasing movies right now. Obviously, Mulan is not doing too good. I guess 2 to bump up the numbers. It definitely makes a better headline. Oh, we made $20 million opening weekend. But they had a 5-day Labor Day opening weekend, and they only made about $10.5 million in the U.S. And then they counted in the Canada numbers and then the early previews. So when you count, so it's 13 days worth of money, they made $20 million, which is not good. I mean, granted, that's probably good for a pandemic, but it's not good in general. And that movie costs a lot of money to make. And I saw people online going like, oh, you can't blame, Warner Brothers. You can't blame Chris Nolan. Like they were really hoping, they were hopeful and they wanted to release a movie and get people back into theaters and help save the movie industry in some regard. And I'm like, well, that's ego. And so I can blame them for having an ego. But obviously someone was bound to be the test. Someone was bound to be the first studio to put something out there. So between Tenet and Mulan now, both bombing as badly as they've done, I think that every other studio is backing off. So Tony's comment is, we're not going to release any movies during this pandemic. If by this time next year, people still aren't going to theaters in record numbers like they used to, then we aren't releasing these movies. We'll keep pushing them back. So that's at least his comments. I don't know if they'll stick to that. Like I said, I don't know if that's a company guideline that they're going to stick with or if it's just his opinion, but he is a chairman, so he does have some say, but there is usually a vote that goes on in most cases, I think. So it'd be interesting to see. So that means Morbius, if the pandemic doesn't clear up and people aren't going back to the way things were before, which I know it's going to be hard to go back to that. Some people are dying to go back to it. Me, I don't want to go back to the way things were. I'd like to, not that I want to walk around with a mask all the time, but I like some of these new safety procedures when it comes to just stuff in general. I kind of like some of them. And I'm like, I don't see why some of these have to go away so soon. But as far as getting people back in the theater and packing theaters again, that yeah, sure, we should do that again, and theme parks and all that stuff. Fine, go for it. I won't be there, but you guys can all go do it. But so he's saying they're right now that they have no plans to release these movies, so they're going to stick to their release dates for now. But if things don't clear up or get better, then don't expect Spider-Man 3, which was supposed to start filming already. It's now being pushed back to January to start filming. And that was supposed to come out, I think, end of next year, and I don't think it will now. It'll probably be 2022. The only good thing is I think Spider-Verse is still moving forward because they're, it's animated. So I think they're still moving forward with a lot of their stuff at a slower pace, but I think that's still moving forward. So we might get Spider-Man 3 and Into the Spider-Verse in 2022, and then hopefully still Morbius and Venom 2 in 2021. So we'll see what happens. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Oh, Ferris got a Nintendo Switch. Sweet. RIP Chadwick Boseman. I appreciate those comments. I definitely RIP Chadwick Boseman, but those have nothing to do with what we're talking about. But yeah, RIP, we've already did that in a previous stream, but yeah, RIP Chadwick Boseman. It was funny at work the other day, we found some Black Panther, prizes, like stuffed animal things like that, like that you can give out, or like stuffed plushies or whatever of Black Panther. They looked really cool, actually. Like they did like the purple trim on it, like to make it look like his suit was lighting up. I was like, yeah, it's a pretty cool, stuffed doll to have. And it made me think of Chadwick, and I was like, it sucks. It sucks that, because, but like I said, I made a video and I made a post about it on my community board about, because I saw some people being like, why wouldn't he just tell Disney he was sick? And I'm like, you've obviously never had an ailment, like a serious one, because there are sometimes I don't tell employers, like if it doesn't get brought up, I sometimes won't mention the aneurysm thing, because I've been in interviews before where they say, because they're not allowed to discriminate against you. They can't say, oh, we can't hire you because you're sick. They're not allowed to do that. But sometimes they might just be like, oh, it was down to these two people, but this guy has a pre-existing ailment that might prevent him from coming into work sometimes. So we're going to go with this person. And they say it doesn't affect you getting the job, but sometimes it does. So I can understand he was like, hey, I want to play this iconic superhero character and bring this character to life, and I think I can bring something to the role. So I'm just not going to tell them I have cancer. I can respect that. I'm sure some people will be like, oh, that's crappy of someone to do that. But I'm like, you don't know until you're in those shoes. When you see people judge you, when you tell them, about yourself, you don't know what it's like until you experience it. So I can respect the decision he made for that. Honestly, I think that things will slowly go back to normal by late October, early to whole November. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. The government's they're talking about a new stimulus package. I don't know if it's going to pass. I hope it does. I'm not going to get into all that right now because it just makes me angry. But I think there's something in this plan to where they spend $1.5 trillion and everybody gets a stimulus check, and then businesses get PPP loans and all this stuff, and there's a lot of help to schools and things like that. But then if things don't clear up in the next 8 to 12 weeks, then another $500 billion is approved to go through to help people again. And I'm like, they should have done that the first time. Like, it's so stupid. That first time they did that, they should have put something in. Hey, if in 2 months this isn't better, everyone gets another stimulus check and then gets more, unemployment extensions. They should have done that to begin with, just to be safe, and they didn't. And now they're doing it now, but they still haven't voted on. Like, they still haven't said yes to it. So it's like, it's really frustrating. Thank you for the 7 thumbs up, by the way. Hey, Coddle, so Christian Coddle, the person who just commented in the chat, his Parasite podcast will be going up later tonight. So if you guys aren't awake when it posts, and I'm sorry it's running late, but if you aren't awake when it posts, it'll be there for you in the morning when you wake up in the morning, and you can get to know Christian Coddle. And Deadeye Shots, I would love to have you on a Parasite podcast at some point. So if you have Skype and you're interested, I would love to have you on my podcast because it's been a while since I talked to you. So I'd love to catch up with you and get people to know who you are and what you do and stuff. So, and also Deadeye Shots and I will, much like me, Lonely Symbiote, and Sean, we live stream on, playing video games on PS4 on Tuesdays. Usually, if I'm not working Tuesdays, we'll play, and we play Monster Hunter World. Well, there will be a time coming up at some point where me and Deadeye Shots will play games together too, before the end of October, because I think he has something coming up in October, so he won't be able to play games for a while. So I'll try to line that up before he has that happen. So yeah. So anyway, so what do you think of the news about, a potential? It's a potential that Morbius and Venom could get pushed back and not released until if this pandemic is still happening on this level next year. Now, if it gets better, they'll assess the situation, and I'm hoping, because Morbius I think has like a February, March, or April release. It's like a spring release. I'm hoping by then, please, I hope things are better by then. It's just getting sad to see people getting sick and dying. Like, I just want it to go, forget movies. Like, I just don't want people to be going through that anymore and dying alone in hospitals without being able to see their loved ones and say goodbye to them. It's like, it's depressing. It's like, I don't want that to keep happening. So, I know there's real world things happening with all this stuff, but so I just want it to end for that reason. And then the added bonus is that we get to have these movies and stuff that we all sit around and talk about and gush about and love and stuff. But for now, we got the Maximum Venom cartoon. At least there's a symbiote in the next episode. Hopefully there'll be more in the final episode. There's comic books coming out every month, so we're not short on Venom stuff, and I will catch up soon. I'll have a Sin Eater video coming up soon. We'll be doing more Flash Thompson Venom stuff soon, and we're going to try to wrap up a lot of stuff before the end of the season. Also, next week, an article came out today from Screen Rant about the 22 or 23 games that Venom has been in, video games that Venom has been in as a character that you can play as. I feel like there's more than 23. I feel like they're missing some, probably some of the mobile games they're missing too. But I'll go through and read that article and check it out. I've been wanting to do a video for a while now about the history of Venom in video games, but I've seen other channels do it, and they did it really well with all this crazy editing and all that. So I figured for us to be different than them, we would just do a live chat about it. So maybe next week, if on a day I have off next week, we'll do another live stream like this, and we'll talk about the history of Venom in video games, and we'll go through and we'll talk about our favorite video games that have Venom in them, and then we'll read the list that Screen Rant talked about. So we'll kind of just react to their article. Yeah, it does suck, doesn't it? For sure. I agree. Morbius comes out March 19th. Okay, yeah, so March 19th. So I'm hopeful that things will be better by then, for sure. Marvel vs. Capcom, he was a beast. Yeah, cool anti-Venom skin as well. Anti-Venom and Marvel vs. Capcom? I don't remember that. Or is that like a new, in Marvel vs. Capcom, the new one? Because in Marvel vs. Capcom, the first one, there was a code you could put in to get red Venom, which wasn't Carnage. It was straight up Venom with red coloring. That turned out to happen in the comics later on. But yeah, I think there was like a red Venom in that one. And I think main Venom was like purple or something like that. So yeah, for sure. Ultimate Alliance, that's a good one. I haven't played the third one yet because that's a Switch game. But that does look like a lot of fun. I hope they release it on other systems eventually. I know it was a Switch exclusive, but I hope now that it's been like a year or something since the game came out, I hope they release it on these other systems. Turns into Venom, same move, just looks different. Oh, okay, gotcha. What's up, Kason? How's it going? So yeah, so that's what we got from Tony, the chairman at one of the chairmen at Sony. about the movie releases, like, Spider-Man, they're pushing back the filming of it for a little while. And then if the pandemic continues into next year, Morbius and Venom might get new release dates. But I'm hopeful that that won't happen. And hopefully Spider-Man can start filming in January so they can have that done for 2022. All right, and then the other thing is Maximum Venom. So we saw the new trailer. Thank you. Wow, 10 thumbs up. Thank you guys very much. Maximum Venom, they released a little clip that they showed, a little trailer, and it showed, I think, Jackal's in it. They're bringing back, I think maybe Swarm, and I think I saw Rhino in it. So it looks like they're wrapping up a lot of the other villains that have kind of popped up in the show's history, and they're kind of putting a button on that in this episode. And then they also bring back Norman Osborn, which if you go back to episode 1 of Maximum Venom, my theory was at the end, Norman Osborn picked up the seed and walked off with it. And a lot of people were telling me, no, it was somebody else. It wasn't Norman Osborn. But everyone in that show, when they're in civilian clothes, they have one outfit. The outfit I saw matched Norman Osborn's outfit. It was like a white button down or something. So I was like, I feel like it's just Norman Osborn. That was my theory anyway. It looks like that may or may not be true. We may find out that Norman hired somebody to go get it for him. Or it could have just been Norman getting it himself. We don't know. But either way, Norman has a symbiote on him. He is called the Dark Goblin, I've heard. Someone corrected me on the comment section. They said, or they didn't correct me, but I didn't know what the name of the character was. But it looks like it's Dark Goblin. And it got me thinking, and me and Lonely Symbiote were talking about this earlier, how the cartoon, hey, what's up, Pikachu? How's it going? If they didn't push back the release date, I hope they take the opportunity to polish script and special effects. Well, you can't polish the script. The movie's finished. so they can't polish the script. But they can certainly polish the edits and the visual effects, like you said. They definitely can do that. Now, actually, that's not true. Technically, they can polish the script in a way where they can do ADR. So that's actually true. Your comment is true. You could have Tom Hardy come in and record a couple lines. I mean, they mostly do ADR anyway for every movie, so chances are he'll probably do that anyway. But if they wanted to like add a couple lines and stuff, they could probably do that. If from what I understand, they retrofitted their schedule while they were filming to get in a couple reshoots before they left San Francisco. From what I understand, now I don't know if that's true. That was just something I had heard being discussed, but I don't know if that's true. So there's a chance this movie may not even need reshoots, but we'll see. That all comes down to when they get an edit together and they can watch it and decide from there if they need to go add stuff. So yeah, technically, I mean, they can add stuff. They can't make full changes to the script, but they can at least do some ADR lines and stuff for sure. Maximum Venom should bring Eddie Brock back. I know they should. I mean, we only got 2 episodes left. I'm not holding out hope. Although I was actually losing hope that symbiotes would even come back. So I'm glad at least we're getting symbiotes. And Ben Pronsky seems to be doing the voice of the male symbiotes again, because it looks like Dark Goblin sounds a little bit like Ben Pronsky. So we'll see. Good, thanks for asking. All right, awesome, dude. Yeah, Venom and Ultimate Alliance 3. I haven't seen any of that game. I watched like the first couple cutscenes of it or the intro, and that was all I've seen of that game. But it looks awesome. I kind of guess that Dr. Connors was working with Norman Osborn and Max Venom since the first episode. Yeah, that is possible true. I mean, possibly true. It seems like it. It seems like he's a plant at Horizon for Norman. So he could have given Norman access into that lab, and Norman could have got that seed or whatever. So I don't know. We'll find out in the next episode. But it looks like they're buttoning all that up. And I hope that's the case because they released that little short film, and I hope that sets up the final episode. I hope they bring in Scream and the other symbiotes. At this point, I'll even be okay if they brought in Null. I wouldn't have been okay with that at the beginning of the season, but since I just want to see symbiotes badly, I think maybe the final episode could be that. And if they bring in Null and they don't have Venom there to help fight him, I'm going to be a little upset. So I hope we get Eddie. I hope we get Venom. I hope we get all that stuff. So we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. So, are you excited that at least symbiotes are coming back for minimum Venom, as some of you have called it? Or are you excited? Or are you not excited? I know some people have just kind of gave up on the show, which I get. I mean, we're not really the target audience for that show, to be fair to the show. I think the show, like the writers who, Doc Wyatt and Kevin Burke, when they came on the podcast, they were talking about, they write for kids. That's definitely in the forefront of their mind, but they try to put in things there for other fans and older fans and stuff, and fans who are like older who have, the watching with their kids. And I know some of us aren't in that position. We're just older fans and we like this stuff. But for me, it's like the show's hit or miss. I get what they're going for a lot of the times, But then there are times where I'm like this last episode when they just had like Swarm and stuff like that. I was kind of like, this feels like filler, and I don't want filler on a 6-episode season. I don't want a filler episode. But yeah, so I was kind of a little bit bummed about that. But it looks like that's going to pay off in the next episode. So this is like a little 2-parter, and it brings in like the Dark Goblin. So I don't know. I'm willing to at least watch the next episode before I completely write off the last episode, because last episode did kind of bum me out a little bit, to be honest. Hey, what's up, Andrew Kai? How's it going? What's up, no one? That's all right. You're not too late, man. We've been talking for about 25 minutes, but we did kind of go over the topics already. We wished happy birthday to Tom Hardy at the beginning. We talked about Sony chairman Tony Vinciquerra, I think is Vinciquerra. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that right. But he came out and said that they might have to push back the release dates if the pandemic doesn't clear up. And we're all hoping that doesn't happen, because Morbius is in March and I think Venom's like in June. So we got plenty of time. So hopefully hopefully we're good there. And then we just talked about Maximum Venom and the 2 episodes that are left, and the trailer that came out to promote episode 5, which had Norman Osborn bonding with the Goblin. And we talked about how the Lonely Symbiote and Sean and I and Deadeye and Jazz Carnage and the other stream we were doing earlier on the video game channel, we were talking about how we are, I was talking to my friend Gene the other day, and he was pointing out how much that show kind of just pulls from Dan Slott's Spider-Man run. And I didn't realize how much it pulled from it until we started talking about it. I was like, wow, Max Modell, Horizon, even though they turned Horizon Labs into a school, but it's still kind of the same premise, same setup, same kind of thing. They brought in that kid Grady, which is from, I think, Dan Slott's run. And there's like a lot of it, or Grady may have been in a Spider-Man book before or something. I can't remember. But and then they did like the Superior Spider-Man arc, and then now they have the Red Goblin, although it's called the Dark Goblin. So it just seems like it pulls a lot from that run. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize how much it pulled from there until we were talking about it. Yeah, the pandemic is Pikachu says, happy birthday, Tom Hardy. Yes. Have you read Marvel Web of Venom with the Kree character Wraith who confronted Null after he awoken? No. I have not read that one shot yet. I'm still debating if I'm going to get it or not. I'm not even sure I want to get it. I had one thing spoiled in it for me, and that makes me not want to read it. So it's so funny. I don't know, I think we were like on issue 13 or 14. It was like during the War of the Realms stuff. And I had made a comment. I think I made it on my channel and on Thinking Critical's channel. I said something like, I feel like Donny Cates is just kind of ripping off the pacing of Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run, where it's like issue 1, it's kind of like the rebirth or whatever. And then you learn more about their past. Some of the past sins they had are being retconned. That's what happened in Jeff Johns' 2nd or 3rd major arc in his Green Lantern run, was the lanterns that Hal Jordan supposedly killed actually weren't dead. So that was like Jeff Johns kind of retconning past sins. And that was kind of done a little bit in Eddie's 2nd arc. And then after that, they do the Absolute Carnage, which felt like Sinestro Corps. So, Sinestro is Hal Jordan's main enemy. Carnage is Venom's main enemy. They do a big event where it crosses over with books. And there's the one-shots, which also, Sinestro Corps had a bunch of one-shots for Superboy Prime and Cyborg Superman and Kyle Rayner or Ion or whatever. So it just felt like that. And I mentioned that. I go, what? And then Null's coming, and Null can apparently resurrect the dead or something. And he's all black, so it's like a Black Lantern, like Necron was. And then I see in the Wraith thing, someone spoiled it for me. They sent me the image, and it was like so Null is the god of darkness. So I guess there's spoilers, by the way, if you guys don't want to, if you haven't read Wraith or whatever. But I don't know if I'm going to review it, because this is my thought, is I don't know about the book. It could be a good issue, but apparently Null's the god of darkness. Now there's a god of light. And I'm like, well, look who was right. Look who called it like a year and a half ago. And I remember saying that on Thinking Critical, and there were people in the comments going, dude, you're reaching big time. Like, why can't you just accept Donny Cates doing an original thing? And I'm like, okay, I guess all right, I'm outnumbered here. And then I saw that and I go, okay, well, now where's my apology? No, I'm kidding. But that was my feeling, was just that he was just pulling from Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run from a pacing standpoint. And it looks like he kind of is. So I guess we're going to get a God of Light now. So there you go. You're going to have a White Lantern, an anti-Null which makes sense because there's already been an anti-Venom, I guess. I got to see that. Thanks for informing Venom Vlog. Hey, you're welcome. No problem. Who else besides me thinks the official Venom 2 trailer will come out late November and December? Everyone says that. I don't know why people picked that for it to come out, but I don't know. We'll have to see what Sony movies get released around that time. We'll have to see. I mean, that would be a good time. It would be a good time to release something. Usually Sony dumps like a dumb movie in January. So I'm thinking Monster Hunter. I think that's going to be a Sony release. So that could be a place to put the Venom trailer. And I think that tentatively is coming out in the fall right now. But I feel like that movie might get pushed back to January because that's when usually Underworld and Resident Evil's movies come out, which is that month is trash for movies. And that's where you put bad movies. So I feel like Sony might push that back to January. And maybe we'll get our Venom trailer then. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But that would be good timing because then when Morbius comes out in March, you can do a teaser. And then in March, you can do the full trailer in front of Morbius. So that's actually a good idea. Is Venom better than Carnage? I think so. Carnage, Jazz Carnage, look at that. Jazz Carnage lurking. He says, no, Carnage will always be superior. I like Venom more than Carnage, but both are cool. There you go. Do you wish Netflix would have tackled Venom? Yes and no. If they did a Venom on Netflix, it should be... at this point, it should just be Flash Thompson Venom. That would be cool because you could do Agent Venom. You can send him on missions. You can make it a spy show. That could be pretty cool, actually. So I don't... Oh, what's up? Holy cow, my super chat. Kaysen, thank you, dude. At work, so I got a blast, but I'll catch up later. Appreciate the hard work and for everything you do to keep us up to date. Y'all be safe out there. Dang, everybody send Kaysen some love. Thank you so much, dude. Dang, I think Lisa was the last person that gave me a super chat. That was a while ago too. So, but then again, I haven't live streamed in a while too, up until last week. So, Kaysen, thank you. Send some put some hearts in the chat for Kaysen. And I have been thinking about something. I think we're gonna do it next season when the movie picks up, because hopefully by then we'll garner some more subscribers and stuff too, because there'll be more Venom movie news coming out. I think that's what most people come here for, and that's what the excitement is for. So everything else, it gets views here and there, but I think most people come for the Venom 2 news, which is fine. So when that starts popping up again, hopefully in November, December, like Drake thinks, and or January, whenever it happens, hopefully by then I might do I don't know, on Patreon, we did Patreon for 6 months and it was fine. We had 10 subscribers or something like that, which was good because that extra money every month helped me. Well, now YouTube has allowed me to create a service like Patreon here on YouTube to where you can subscribe for $5 a month. So I guess I hit some tier with the amount of views and stuff I've had lately and subscribers I had after we went past 2,500. So that's all thanks to you guys. So maybe there will be something next year that I'll do, which will be I'll release videos. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll do an exclusive show for people who subscribe to $5 or something. I don't know. I don't want to deal with that right now. That'll be something I start thinking about closer to the end of the year. But I just want to give you guys a heads up on that. So thank you, Kaysen. That's super awesome of you, man. It's your choice if you want to read the issue. I'm not spoiling it. Thanks for replying. Hey, no problem. Yeah, I mean, so at some point, maybe I'll read it when it goes on sale for $1 on Comixology, which the Ravencroft series recently did, and I bought all of the issues and the 3 one-shots. So I'll finally do episodes on those coming up soon, too. So we'll probably do a Ravencroft week as well. Jess, I will fight you. Fight me then. I'm itching for a fight. Glad you're right. I mean, I don't know if I'm really right or not, but I thought that was funny. I was like, oh, there's a White Lantern. There's an anti-null. I go, wow, who would have guessed that? But yeah. And it's King in Black, Blackest Night, whatever. A Venom Netflix show could be cool. Yeah, I mean, I have more Venom anything. I'll take Venom anything. I'll never say no to Venom stuff. Even if I don't like it, I still want it. I'm just a spoiled brat. Super Smash Brothers, Word of Light up in here. What up, Word of Light? What's up, 14 thumbs up? Thank you, guys. And the Kaysen Super Chat, thank you. I definitely agree with you, Jazz Carnage. Jazz Carnage. Yeah, thank you, Kaysen. Oh, thank you guys for the hearts. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate the agreement, Drake. You guys are super nice. Be safe, Kaysen. Yes, have a good night at work, my friend. And thank you for popping in here and hanging out with us and for the $5 Super Chat. And, glad to see people working too. Like I talked to some friends in California recently, and they were telling me that some of them are getting their full-on notices to they will no longer have a job. They were furloughed, hoping to get their jobs back once all this cleared up, and some of them have been getting notices that they're not coming back at all. And I'm like, that's really heartbreaking. Venom vlog off topic. Did you get the comics I sent you? What? Comics you sent me? I don't think so. Oh, yes. Yeah, I read them. You sent, that's why I recognized your name. Sorry, I have a lot on my mind this week, but yes, I read your comic books. I got to email you back. I'll give you some feedback. You drew them too, right? You said, because your comment was funny. You're like, I'm not a very good artist, but let me tell you something. Doesn't matter if you're a good artist or not. Brian Michael Bendis, who I don't like anymore, but his start, when he first popped into comics, I really liked a lot of his stuff because he was a very hard worker, I felt. He just got lazy, and that's why I don't like him, because he still has the talent, he's just lazy. But he drew his first book, and he is also not the best artist in the world. But the thing that you need to do if you're going to create something, whether it's YouTube content or comic books or a movie or whatever, is stop talking about it and just make it. That's the thing, is you just got to make it. So the fact that you finished the comic, you already earn mad respect from me, because that's not easy to do. That is the hardest thing to do, is to complete a comic book, is to complete anything you start. A lot of us get frustrated when we fail. Like, there's a lot of things in my life that I gave up on. And there was a book that I'm currently working on that I've gave up on 3 times. And luckily I'm back now, and I'm finally finishing it. But I had to walk away. I was tired of failing at getting through these walls of trouble that I was having writing it. So the fact that you finished it, you've got my mad respect. But as far as more detail and feedback from that, I'll send it to you personally so I don't bog down the stream with it. But yeah, thanks for reminding me I need to email you back. I flagged your emails after I read them and read the comics. I starred them so they would stay in my feed, my top of my inbox. So I'll make sure I go back and respond. Yeah, that's right. You sent it to my email, because I was sitting there like, you know where I live? And I'm like, wait, I didn't get a box of comics, did I? I thought I was going to walk over to my front door and open it and just see a box of comics and be like, oh my God, no one knows who I am. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, guys. And from Lonely. Oh, thank you. Lonely Symbiote is here. She's kind of leaving her comments, channeling them through Sean. So hello, Lonely. Always have fun chatting with you, Siike. I love chatting with you guys. You guys are awesome. You're amazing, Ferris. I appreciate it, man. You guys are all awesome. Yeah, I drew them. I wrote them, drew them, published them. All me. Dude, I'm bowing to you. I'm not kidding, man. There are so many. I worked in comics, and there'd be so many times I've heard people's pitches for things, and it's funny because I used to do that. I would go up and pitch things to people, and they're like, "Dude, just do it, just make it, and then bring it to me." So I would write spec scripts, or if I could do my own single issue comic, like I did one. It was like a black and white comic I did that was like a sequel to my novel Taurus, and I think it was called "I'll See You Tomorrow" or something like that. But anyway, I did a one-shot comic, and I paid the inker myself. I drew it myself. It's terrible. It's terrible artwork. I did this when I was like 22 or 23, I think. It was terrible, but I wanted something. I wanted something out there, and yeah. So it you got to start somewhere. But the thing is, the key is to, if you want to be a writer and not an artist, you just do the art just to get your book out there, get your idea out there. Hopefully the script is really good. It gets people's attention. But the fact that you finished it, that right there already gets people's attention. Trust me, I worked in comics. When you bring them finished stuff, people like to read finished stuff. Like, now granted, and you can explain that to them, like, hey, I had to draw this because I couldn't find an artist. But hopefully you like the story, and it shows, my creativity, and it shows my abilities. And hopefully, that could get you a job somewhere. I would say the advice I'd give to you, and I'll jump back to the chat and we'll talk about something else before I wrap this up. Is I think your strengths in what you wrote would be great for something like Heavy Metal Magazine, or like I'm trying to think of who was that indie? There was like an indie company that put out like really intense, violent comics. I can't think of their name, but they've put out some really like gut-wrenching stuff that I had trouble reading some of your stuff. It's not my cup of tea personally, but when I saw it and read it, I was like, oh, this would be good for like these 3 companies to like pitch to. So I'll try to put all that in an email and send it to you, so you can maybe pursue that if you want. But yeah, congratulations. I try to finish what I start, and it doesn't come close to all of my ideas, but I'm creating constantly. I've done 3 comics, 1 novel, and I completed 3 studio albums for my music project. Dude, keep making stuff, man. Like, the world needs people to make stuff. I think the more stuff we make, I guess the more people will fight over it. Maybe that seems to be the way people win. I remember a time when music used to bring people together, when movies used to bring people together, used to make friends by having similar or different opinions on art. But nowadays it's so divisive. Like, if you don't like my thing, then you're an idiot, and you need to die, and I'm gonna dox you and send death threats. It's like, whoa, pump the brakes. It's a movie. It's a movie. You cannot like the movie, and I can like the movie, and nobody has to get doxxed, and nobody has to have a SWAT team aiming weapons in their faces. Like, it's cool. Like, it's just a movie. It's just, I don't know. People take it too far nowadays, for sure. Just saw the recent preview of Max and Venom. Looks pretty cool. Hey, yeah. I mean, yeah, looks, like I said, I'm happy there's a symbiote in it, so I'm going to watch it, and hopefully I like it. Oh, good. You subscribe to each other? Nice. You made a comic and failed? Well, hey, then learn from that failure and make another comic book. Trust me, there's a lot of things. I've failed way more than I've succeeded. And then the few things I've succeeded at have been very little things. I've had a couple. I think the biggest things that I've succeeded at are some Kickstarters. Those to me are my pride. Like, to me, I'm like, oh, wow, Soulstar, we got funded. Elan Vital, we got funded. The thing that sucks is every once in a while I'll get an email from someone that said, hey, I never got my book. And I'm like, what the heck? So usually it's from someone from another country, because I'm like Australia. I don't know what it is about Australia, but I've sent this one guy 3 copies of Elan Vital, and he messaged me the other day and said, hey, I never got him. And I'm like, come on, Australia. He's really nice. He's like, hey, man, if you can't get it, like, if you sent 3, don't worry about it. I'm like, no, I want you to have a physical copy. I have a box of them here, like, for this reason. I bought, like a year ago, I bought, like, 50 copies before Amazon. Well, now I can order, like, 5 or 10 at a time. But so I ordered 50 and got them sent to me. And I'm just like, all right, now if anybody, and same with Soulstar. I actually still have boxes of Soulstar from back when we did the Kickstarter, because I overprinted. I was like, I got such a good deal on them that I just printed a ton of them. So yeah, anytime someone's like, hey man, I don't know if you forgot about me or I never got it, I'm like, I swear I sent them all out. I went down and checked all the checklists on all of them, but if you didn't get it for whatever reason, I'm happy to send another one. You just got to wait till I get a paycheck so I can pay for it. But yeah, I usually just send a media mail, and it's usually really cheap. So trust me, I failed a lot more than I succeeded. I still fail to this day. It should not make you give up, and you're going to sometimes you get harsh feedback from it, and you just have to accept it. You have to be like, hey man, I get it. On some level, I let you down or I disappointed you, and you're right. You're not wrong to feel that way, and I'm sorry I did. Let me try to make it up to you. And if you don't want me to, then tell me what I can do to where, like, you don't hate me for the rest of my life. And if you do hate me, if I can't change that, then I can't change it. And I tried. But just keep doing. Just keep going. The internet ruined art. Yeah, for sure. Well, that's what my book Elan Vital is about. I made it 4 years ago. Well, I made it 5 years ago, but I finished it 4 years ago and released it 4 years ago. And it was about that. It was about how the internet is full of hypocrites. And like I said, nowadays I can see clearly now that people that talk online, they're not, like, I don't know, you just, because you're on it so much and you feed into that addiction where you log in every day and stuff, you just think that's what you see an opinion. You're like, oh, everyone thinks that. You see something trending. Oh, everyone must support that. Or everyone must hate it enough to tweet about it a lot. And that's what it is. It's just a bunch of people on one side or the other, and then yelling at the other side for being on the other side. And that's all it is. And they're sitting there saying their opinions about movies and this and that and this and that. And then they're like, oh, this movie revolutionized this. And then the movie comes out and makes $8 million. And you're like, and I'm talking pre-pandemic too. And you're just like, and you see the hypocrisy too. You see these movies that come out that have like an all-female cast or a diverse cast, and they're not propped up by the online crowd. The online crowd only wants to prop up the things that get high profile, like superhero movies and stuff and franchise stuff. They only want to make a big deal about representation in those movies, and they don't care about representation in other movies. And you just kind of go like, what the heck, man? So you see a lot of hypocrisy and stuff, and then you see what role you play in it, and then like I said, I found out that people on Twitter, there's what, millions and millions of people on Twitter, but I found out that's like less than 8% of the population on the planet. And once you realize that, you're just like, well, then why am I arguing with anyone on Twitter? Like, who cares what anyone thinks on Twitter? You're just like, why am I getting into these heated debates? And why am I caring what this YouTuber posts? And why am I caring what this person says? Like who? At the end of the day, who cares? Like there are real people out there that are making decisions right now that are affecting all of our lives negatively, and they want us to fight over movies, and they want us to fight over drama like that and things like that, and they don't want us talking or looking at them. And I would rather have my focus on them, which that's why I'm kind of been off social media and just watching what these Congress people are doing to us and learning what each job and each position is responsible for, and trying to educate myself, because I want to know who to be mad at for how crappy things are, because I think a lot of times we all blame each other and blame other people that aren't really responsible for our failures, and then sometimes a lot of times we have to blame ourselves. That's in most cases, actually, it's typically something we're not doing that we should be doing. But in this case, none of us asked for what's happening. Like, I saw a bunch of people getting evicted from their homes in Texas, and it broke my heart seeing people removed from their home just because there are people in Congress who want to take 40-day vacations instead of making decisions that help us. So it's like, like I said, I don't want to get too political on here, but it's just like, it's frustrating. Like and some of you are young, so when you're older, it'll make more sense, but it's just really frustrating. So it breaks my heart. Hey, what's up, Stupid Unicycle? How's it going? I can bring people together still. Just got to run it like a D&D session. Stay clear of the trolls. I mean, yeah, for sure. I'm not saying there's not any good on social media. Certainly you guys, when I interacted with you guys on social media. But what I've noticed about me is that it became an addiction. I was logging into it every day, and I was mostly lurking. I wasn't actually interacting. And I realized I'm just like, I just like checking in on my friends, which I still like doing. The other day, I sent a bunch of text messages out to people who reached out to me when I said I was deleting Instagram and Twitter. A couple people messaged me and said, hey, here's my number, stay in touch. Or here's my email, stay in touch. And I'm like, okay. So I wrote all those emails down, wrote all those phone numbers down. And then the other day I just went through and started sending emails out and sending text messages out and being like, I want to do the thing I said I was going to do when I left social media. I want to actually check in on these people and see how they're doing. And some of them wrote me back, some of them didn't, but it's like, hey, I want to stay in touch. I like knowing what my friends are up to and what people that I care about are going through and what was happening with them. So yeah, I'm happy for that I got to reach out to those people. But yeah, I do sometimes miss social media, but the addiction of waking up every day and checking it every day, that's what I'm trying to get away from. And I think once I am distant enough from it, and after the election happens, and after we start settling into who's going to be president, and once we get through all that, maybe I'll go back to Instagram. But Twitter, I'm pretty sure I'm done with forever. But Instagram, I'll probably ease back into at some point. Yeah, it is sad and infuriating. You're right, it is. Yeah, that stuff is irritating. People shouldn't be evicted during this. I agree. There's a great YouTuber I watch called, I think his name is Clearform Tax or Clearwater Tax or something like that. He's this guy. He's like a tax attorney, and he gives updates on the stimulus package and the stimulus check. He's been doing a lot of really great things. If you subscribe to his channel, he will post about stuff. Like, you can go to my liked videos, and you can probably find some of his videos in there, because I think I've liked a lot of his stuff. So anyway, he posts updates all the time, and he posts things where like forms that you can print out and fill out, and it'll protect you from being evicted depending on which state you live in. And then he printed out forms that you all right, here's the form, print this out, send it to this place for your state government, and they'll give you a cash card with like a $200 or $300 limit per month, so you can at least buy groceries with it. And so I've been sending that information to friends of mine who are facing eviction, facing starvation, and things like that. And so I'm so glad for that YouTube channel. Like, he's been a lifesaver. I hope the jackal gets venomized the next episode. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Oh, thanks, Drake. I've had to restart everything. Stuff started slowing down, so my bad. Hey, all good, man. My connection is being a douche, so I'm gonna have to reboot or something. If you're gonna be here when I get back, I've enjoyed being here and chatting with you. Much love. Stay safe. Hey, you too. Thanks for sending me your comics, and I'll email you tomorrow about them. And I do got to go soon. I got to wrap up. My mom's going to be getting off work, and usually she calls me. She's been, I've had back and forth. She hasn't been feeling too well, but she went back to work today, and she's working her two jobs again. So she's, she wants me on the phone with her while she drives home. If I'm driving at night, I usually call my mom too. I'm not really should be driving at night too much, but luckily I live near where I work, which is kind of nice. I don't live too far, just a couple miles. So it's been pretty great to, we have each other to like call if we need anything. So, or usually for our drive home. So she'll be calling me soon. So I want to make sure I'm around for that and talk to her and check in on her, see how she's doing, see how my brother's doing and stuff. So I'll let you guys go here in the next 5 minutes. But yeah, so if we're not here when you get back, no one, I'll send you an email. Just to check, Venom Vlog, the super chat money, does YouTube take a cut? It does not. I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. I think I get majority. You know what? I don't know. I have no idea. I want to say that I get the whole $5, but that makes no sense. YouTube would never allow that. So I don't know. I have to Google that. I don't know. What do you think about my drawing? I don't know if I saw it. Where's your drawing at? I don't know. I can't see your draw. Oh, you're talking about your thumbnail? I can't see it. It's too small because I'm on my phone. Yeah, send me an email. Did you send me an email? Because my email address is in the description box. You guys can always send me emails if you ever want to reach out to me. Do you think the new concept art of Carnage is like the Carnage we'll get in the movies? If so, I'll be happy. I hope so. Yeah, by the way, I should plug that because I put their link down in the description box too. The Venom site. I saw this on Google, actually. They had Google just popped up. The Venom site popped up. Their website popped up. And it said they had 2,000 plus pre-production artwork and like storyboard artwork and some animatics, I think, from NDEG, which is a company we talked about in season 1 of the show. Remember I went through the IMDb page and I found all the studios that were doing the visual effects, and we did an episode talking about them. So that company, some artists from that company released a bunch of artwork, I guess, to the Venom site as an exclusive. So awesome for them to have all these great images. So I looked at some of them. I didn't get to see all of them, but I did post about that on my community board the other day. So if you guys ever don't see any updates from me, you can always just go to my YouTube channel, hit the community tab, and I post on there. Like I try to post once a day. It's almost like a Facebook update or like a tweet, I'll post like a picture and then like some text about updating you on what's coming up on the channel or just plugging other people's channels and stuff. So you can always go back and check that. And maybe I'll put a post to that tax guy on there too, so people can see that. So maybe tomorrow morning you'll see that on my community board as well. Yeah, I hope so. Oh, thank you, man. My mom, she's doing better. So I appreciate you saying that. I really hope Carnage looms like the concept art. Yeah, so go check out the concept art. We'll link down below to the Venom site. Check them out. Follow them on Twitter at the Venom site. And they posted some of the stuff, I think, on there too. But, I saw their website stuff. Really cool. So go check it out. Your Venom drawings. I can't remember where you sent them to me. So you have to send them to me in the email. Because if you send them to me on Instagram or Twitter before I deleted those, my memory, I can't remember what they look like. So I apologize. All right, so 15 likes. We're at 53 minutes. I'm going to go. We did do a live stream earlier today where we talked about Kang the Conqueror possibly joining Ant-Man 3. That should be done processing soon, so hopefully that'll be up. I also posted a very emotional Batman comic review today. Actually, I looked this comic up recently on YouTube. I think I found one YouTuber that actually did a review of it. So you can see my review of that comic, which actually made me cry. I actually cut out a lot of the crying because I did some nasty, ugly crying. And I was like, well, I don't want to freak people out with this video. I want people to read this comic. So that is up, and you guys can check that out. And then I'll have my Parasite podcast with Christian Cottle up later tonight, closer to midnight. So yeah, holy crap. What the heck? 50 pounds, bro. This is from me, Lonely Symbiote, etc. The people who play with you, keep your PSN topped up. Holy cow, dude. All right. Thank you. I think I have to hit a certain amount of money before that gets transferred to my bank account. So I'll look into that tomorrow when that transfer goes through, and I will use if you want me to put that money towards the whatchamacallit, the this subscription and stuff on PSN. I will do that. Absolutely, I will do that. Yeah, if you guys ever donate money to me and you want me to put it towards a specific thing, let me know what it is and I will do it for sure. Thank you. Holy crap. That's definitely my largest donation. I think I had on my Twitch stream, I had a donation that was large like that too. And that means a lot. Like I will definitely, I will put that towards PSN stuff for sure. I'll make sure I get a year subscription for PSN. And I'll be looking tomorrow. We're going to get PS5 news. So I may make a live stream about that if you guys are interested. And we may talk about PS5. Take the reward compliment. See, I know. I'm terrible at taking compliments and gifts. I'm definitely terrible at that. Ask Lonely Symbiote. She gave me some cool journals and stuff, which I've been using, which is awesome, and sketchbooks. But I am very terrible at taking gifts. I am. So thank you for that. Holy cow, that's crazy. Because that's 50 pounds is like $54 US, something like that, I think, or $64 maybe, something like that. So thank you. Thank you very much for that. That was super generous, and I'll make sure it goes towards PSN for sure. Everyone else, I gotta go. My mom's gonna be calling me soon, so I'm glad we get to leave on a happy note like that. But thank you for joining this conversation with me, talking about Tom Hardy's birthday. Happy birthday, Tom! Again from the Parasites here at the Venom vlog, and then also the Venom movie news, and hopefully nothing gets pushed back. The Maximum Venom stuff, and also mentioning Venom site. Thank you guys so much for doing that. I'm glad I put that link in the description box earlier. I meant to mention that. I'm glad you guys brought it up. So thank you so much. All of you are here. All of you who are part of this channel. It means the world to me. And I'll have more Venom vlog for you guys tomorrow. Some episodes tomorrow. Parasite podcast tonight. And more Batman tomorrow all the way into the weekend. So thank you guys so much. See you in the future. Peace.